Yeah, hey, the Vegas Golden Knights win against the Ottawa Senators 3-2, which, you know, I'm gonna take. Second half of a back-to-back after an incredibly physical game against the Toronto Maple Leafs yesterday, and I'm not trying to, you know, toot our own horn that badly because Ottawa, quite frankly, has been not good this year, and I feel bad for Sens fans, to be honest, because every year it's promised of increased anything, and they just don't seem to get it, no matter who they have in net, no matter what. I don't know what's going on there. But tonight, I'm not going to complain about it, but I do, in general, feel a little bit bad for Sens fans, especially because a lot of their roster, on paper, looks fantastic. Like, I would love these players on my team. Shane Pinto, Sanderson, Kachuk, Stützle, oh my goodness, that guy. And I guess Night Slayer Adam Gaudette, which, I mean, hey, we were familiar with Amadio and Perron, so that might explain that. But this game, the first period, we did not start, Vegas did not start with the same tenacity that Ottawa did, but we caught back up, and it eventually led to a goal for us where Vegas had a bunch of skaters just skating around the offensive zone, a complete chaos, really creating that in Ottawa's defensive zone, which scrambled their players around, and it was just constant movement throughout. To get to the puck eventually over to Barbashev, who has a direct shot, takes it, and Ullmark makes the save. He gathers the rebound, and both Ottawa defenders take on Alex Holtz, who's at the net. I don't know why you do that when you have Jack Eichel on the ice, which I don't know if they've struggled net front a lot. Most NHL goals nowadays are scored net front. So, you know, but you have Jack Eichel, who's Jack frickin' Eichel, coming down from the slot. He's wide open. Barbashev feeds him. He taps it home to make it a 1-0 Vegas Golden Knights lead. And honestly, for the first period, I thought it was pretty even between the two teams in total. And the goalies were both really sharp. Really thought very highly of Samsonov's game throughout most of this game. And the overall feeling that I got from the first period watching was, oh, he wants to be known that he's in net tonight, because this was, I think, a very big game emotionally for him, due to there being some off-season beef between him and Linus Ullmark from their first-round series that went 7 games last season on their former teams, Linus Ullmark with Boston and Samsonov with Toronto, where Ullmark made some remarks on a podcast or something about how Samsonov got pulled and they faced better opponent in Wool, and then they came back in and the Bruins won on Game 7 with Samsonov in net for Toronto. Samsonov did not take too kindly to that and commented saying, not like, he was just like, I'm looking forward to this game specifically. And good on Cassidy for letting him have this game. It's on a back-to-back, and we started Adin Hill in the first half, and so it makes sense that you're starting Samsonov in the second, but like, I don't know. I don't know. Samsonov came up and played. He played really well. For, I would say, the game, especially those first 2 periods. And even though Vegas really controlled play for most of that second period, there was a 10-minute stretch where Ottawa didn't even have a shot on goal. Samsonov made a couple of really good saves, though, early in the second period. I've gone through the game already to this extent, but I wanted to talk about something that I forgot to talk about last time because other things took a higher priority. But Cal Burke, making his Vegas Golden Knights debut, it was his 4th and now 5th NHL game, and he has 0 points, and just, you know, he's a forward instead of playing 11 forwards and 7 defensemen, and he looked like he had a ton of urgency, which any player who's an undrafted 26, 27-year-old with only 4 games in the NHL up to this point should probably have more urgency than everyone else on the ice, because he's playing for his job. Played with Carolina and Colorado, and Colorado's AHL team last year, he had a pretty decent season. So in Henderson this year, it's also decent, not as good as last year, but that's also because Henderson kind of sucks. And I'm not trying to take shots at my hometown team. They've really struggled, and that's in large part due to Vegas's farm team not really existing. That being said, his analytical score tonight wasn't great, but like he was noticeable when he was on the ice, and I don't think it was that negative. I thought he did a pretty good job, and I don't really know. He had about 10.5 minutes, so not a ton, but he didn't look bad. And also stepping in today instead of Petro, who's out, which I don't know what happened. I thought he played all of last game. I don't know what's wrong with Petro. That's news to me. Is Robert Haig? Funny. Nick Hague is out, but we have another Hague, and it's spelled completely different. This is H-A-G-G. I remember Robert Hague from the NHL games, the EA Sports games with the Flyers, and he was always like one of those higher potential, solid-ish, like bottom pair defense. Anyway, he wore the number 18, which is kind of cursed with the Vegas Golden Knights because James Neal wore it the first year, and he was gone after 1 year, and then Peyton Krebs wore it for the like half year that he was with us before we traded him to Jack Eichel. And so Robert Hague probably only with us this year, which I mean honestly from the contract could be it too, but it's nice to have defensemen to step up into that role, and they didn't look too out of place. Robert Hague was like he looked fine. It'll be interesting to see how bad we are. So injured right now, and yes, a lot of teams are. I saw like 4 or 5 guys from the Oilers, and then the Maple Leafs were missing Austin Matthews and a couple of other guys, and that led to Gurbankin and Minton. This isn't about the Leafs. I'm sorry, Sens fans. My main point is Vegas is beat up right now, and we're missing our captain, best player, most emotionally influential, and honestly, rock stone part of this team that if we had, I would seriously think that we would have a better record in the last 6 games than we currently do, not counting this one against Ottawa. But we don't, and we have to make do with what we have, and the fact that we have 3 wins out of the last 7 games, I'm gonna just take. But also, Nick Hague and Pietrangelo now, and Olofsson, and just Ben Hutton's also out. Cole Schwint went to the dressing room. I think he got stitches during this game. I don't really know what he just. It wasn't anything malicious from Ottawa. Anyway, okay, back to the game. There's a goal where Barbashev drops the puck off for Brett Howden, and he ripped it, and it just trickled in past Olmark, and that was a great goal. Then we had this cute moment where Howden kind of fell to the ice after and went into the boards because he got tripped up by an Ottawa player, and then Robert? What in the world am I talking about? William Karlsson just kind of like grabbed him. Cute. But Vegas with a 2-0 lead going into the third, and I wasn't completely comfortable because Ottawa has been in a slump recently. They need this win to really change the direction of their season. And with how we came back against them in our barn when they had a multi-goal lead in the third, I really thought that they were really gonna try hard to get that. And to be fair, I was kind of right in that matter, waiting for Vegas to get that third goal. And before that can happen, Ottawa on the power play, Adam Gaudette, known Night Slayer, I guess, hits his 3rd goal in 2 games against us. And how many goals does he have in the rest of the season? 8. Oh, wow, he's having a good season. Good for him. NHL Cy Young Award. That's his 8th goal. He's got 1 assist. Oh boy. But thankfully, with 2 minutes after that Gaudette goal, Hanifin clears, Karlsson grabs the puck along the boards, and he skates in, and he's got Dorofeev streaming up. He's blasting by the Ottawa defender that's on him, and Karlsson dragging in the one defender that's on him, and he just sauces it, and it is a thing of beauty over to Pavel Dorofeev, and he finishes it. Thank goodness. It was a sigh of relief, a breath of fresh air to see Dorofeev get his 10th of the season, the team leading 10th goal of the year. And I love that for him. I love this kid, and it was such a beautiful play from Karlsson as well. That sauce was so saucy. And I still didn't feel quite comfortable, and Ottawa helped that to be even worse because they score again. Remember Stützle, that guy that I was talking about that I would love on my team? Yeah, well, he he grabs the puck, he straddles the line and keeps it in onside and skates up, sends it back to Batherson. Sanderson, who is coming down from the high slot. He takes a shot. Samsonov makes a blocker save, blocks it out. But to an awaiting Batherson, who grabs the puck and buries it off the rebound to make it a 3-2 game with like 7.5 minutes left to go. And again, I'm just like Ottawa really want, like they want every win. Come on, guys. Like that's not new, but they really want this one. Linus Ullmark, because of the beef that him and Samsonov have, I guess. And then also the way that we beat them in our barn, and with how badly they've been playing recently, they really want to right the ship. And thankfully, Vegas shut it down. Not the prettiest of shutdowns. Ottawa definitely had a lot of shots and a lot of opportunities to get one past Samsonov, but Samsonov was standing on his head. He played really well after that and down the stretch. And like you can put a little bit of blame on the blocker being that out for a rebound, but he did a really good job of rebound control throughout most of this game. There were times where the puck would bounce off of him just enough, but he would be able to hop onto it really quick. He was really good at tracking it and making sure he knew where it was, and that was just really, really good from him. And I'm really happy for him because the last game he played over the weekend was not good. And for him to have this game against Ullmark, I guess, but right after that game is just, it's good. And the fact that we came out of Ontario, 2-game part of this road trip with it being a back-to-back with 2 points, it's what you could ask for. And getting those 2 points against Ottawa, like, is just good. Yeah, that was pretty much this game, which is the actual game 20. I really liked Barbashev's play in this game, and Eichel's too, but like, I'm used to liking Eichel's play. And Barbashev really just had a really good night tonight. He had 2 assists, and it was great. It was great. Our next game is in 2 days in Montreal against the Canadiens, who are at the bottom of the league right now, but like, I don't know. This team, Vegas, just keeps getting more and more injured. It seems like every game there's a new guy that's hurt, and I don't really, like, I don't know what to say. Hopefully we just get healthy and we're able to squeak out of this road trip with more points and let's beat Montreal. But that's gonna be it for Game 20's night review. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.